Welcome to another Odinani series, which is Etobo Sigwe, Ezekolomo. Today I want to discuss three advantages Christianity have over Igbo traditional religion. The three advantages Christianity have over Igbo traditional religion. There is no doubt that Christianity was brought to the Igbos with guns. If you remove the military might of the British merchants, which the missionaries heavily relied on to pacify resident Igbo villages, who were aggressive to the changes Christianity was attendant with, Christianity would not have gained a quick foothold or even any foothold in an Igbo. In fact, not just in Igbo land, in many places, Christianity was brought to the people with the gun. You either accept Christianity peacefully or we are forced. For example, if the villagers say that they don't want you, go with your message. The next thing is the missionaries will come with the British soldiers or the British merchants with guns and tell them that the people are being hostile, not allowing them to preach the message of truth or preach the message of God, to bring the good news to them. And the soldiers will either pick the chief people who are seen as the head of the resistance movement, be it the Dibia, the head of the villages, or the youth, and all those things. By the time they are picked, they are handcuffed, or in some cases killed in a kind of face-off. Then the villagers will mellow down. Then the missionaries will come back again and try to disassociate themselves from these soldiers that they are not supportive of their act and start preaching the message of love and all that. So this is the technique that was majorly used to bring Christianity to Igbo and even other places, the rest of the places. But nevertheless, apart from this overt method, there were other covert methods, which in the long run did the real magic, because at the end of the day, you cannot use force to force people to change or into accepting spirituality or what you might call faith. You can use force as a start, but you cannot retain anything with force. For anything you come with force, for it to last, you need to bring out a subtle way of penetrating into the deep core of what who people are, for them to change and accept you. For example, in the long run, you see that families that began to accept, they take their children, put them in boarding houses, started training them in Christian ways from infant stage up to the time that they grow. You see that by the time those people don't know anything about Odinani, what they know from growing up is what? Christianity. So you see that those people cannot go back to traditional religion. So let's look at these factors, which I have rightly called advantages, now that Odinani is repositioning itself to push into mainstream of Igbo society. As you said, we must learn to face the truth, because the truth will always face us. So we must look at the advantages, other advantages that Christianity have, that made Christianity appealing to our people, that say, okay, let's accept this. It might be another alternative or a better alternative to the ones that our ancestors had. So what are these advantages? Number one, less expensive. As a religion, Christianity is less expensive than Odinani. We must acknowledge this fact. Odinani is loaded with many rites and rituals, many do's and don'ts, that many at times can become burdensome and expensive to the common and ordinary mind. The common and ordinary mind are always looking for the simple, are always looking for the easiest way of doing things. That's why even in this modern world, you see fast food ways of doing things are always coming out, because people are always looking for simple ways, simplistic ways of getting things done. If a phone is expensive, when they bring out a cheaper model, most people go for the cheaper model. The ordinary mind goes for the cheaper model. So the ordinary mind always goes for the less expensive. So Christianity is what if I should use the word a cheaper model to Odinani, a less expensive version of religion or spiritual path to Odinani. Although Christianity as practiced in Nigeria currently is expensive, we should bear in mind that the Christianity the missionaries brought was a bit different than the version of Christianity of today. When the missionaries were bringing Christianity, we are giving the people gifts. They were luring the people with gifts. So we are giving free medical health care. So we are giving free education. So we are giving free opportunities to trade. So there were a lot of opportunities. We must give the Christianity and the missionaries the credit of bringing education. So they came with a lot of opportunities. It was less expensive. They made it attractive. They made Christianity attractive. They were not interested in collecting your tithes and offering as modern day Christians are always particular about. So the Christianity that they brought was less expensive than the one we are experiencing today. But despite the fact that the Christianity of today is still expensive, if you compare it with Ordinana, for those of us who are fully into Ordinana, I will tell you that for us that pay tithes and offering as Christians, you can't compare what we do now. The cost of doing some rites, rituals in Ordinana, you can't compare them with the financial commitment of being a Christian. No, you can't. Though that in Christianity you might be swindled, but here in Odinani, now some of us, so not all of us, some of us use our whole hearts to be doing what executing the financial commitment that comes with practicing Odinana. Although some of the Odinana are being swindled. So for many who want to escape the sacrifice, the fines, the rituals found in that is in Odinana, Christianity becomes a safe haven for them. In Christianity, you can go by, you can flow by in Christianity without paying anything. You can decide to go to church, you will not give offering. Some people even go to offering basket and hold hand like this, put hand inside and come back. They don't put any, there is nothing. And nobody is putting gun in your head to pay tithe. Nobody, if you commit sin and commit abomination, nobody is forcing you to cleanse. You will just forgive and say, God, I ask you for God. You can't just ask for forgiveness of sin in Ordinana. The Odinani cleansing, abomination, to cleanse your sin comes with what? Some kind of financial commitment. That it will take a he goat plus other materials and every other thing. So to the common man, that's expensive. When he can equally ask Jesus or God to forgive him in Christianity and they tell him that his sin has been what? That your sin has been forgiven. So you see that Christianity is less expensive. So divination in Ordinana is expensive. No matter even the Dibia does not collect money or collect little for you. Now you can't compare that with going to visit a pastor who you are telling your problem. He will hear your problem and pray for you and tell you go, it's well with you, that there is no problem or this one and or is well. So some of these things, if you look at their alternatives in Christianity, it's less expensive. You are believing that someone wants to die. You had a dream that your loved one is about to die. You go to church, they pray for you and tell you that they have cancelled the spirit of death. In Ordinana, they will tell you that now you're Ushununu. And it comes, the list is enormous. It comes with a big financial commitment. So when you look at all this, you see that what? Or Christianity is less expensive than Ordinana. So it's one of the reasons that Christianity will still remain appealing to the common man. Make no mistake about it. Unless we find an alternative to this. You must remember that in the ancient times, there was a period where Christianity was very exploitative. But the Christian handlers decided they keep trying to see how they can eradicate all these ways. There was a period they would take things from you for you to make heaven. You have to pay for your loved one who has died to make heaven. You have to pay for them to leave the spirit of your loved one who is in purgatory into heaven. So Christianity also passed this stage. Even up till now, they are still trying to see how they can refine it and still trying to make it less expensive for those who are following them. So Aldinana should also look for ways to make some things what less expensive so that the ordinary mind can easily what flow, go with the flow. Number two, morality. The Igbo society is a conservative one that frowns upon evil doing. Incidentally, Christianity in its strictest sense, not in the liberal sense of Christianity of today, the Western liberal interpretation of Christianity today, no. In the Bible conservative nature of Christianity is purely more moralistic than Ordinana. Take this to the bank. So you see that Christianity, in terms of morality, has a great advantage for a people who are already conservative in nature. Unfortunately, we must admit that today's promoters of Ordinana, their lifestyle is not even morally appealing than their Christian counterparts. Yet you're in a society that is very conservative. So it's now a challenge. Yeah, there are many in the manifesto because look at the alternative Christianity. They appear too conservative. Have you seen a Christian nun? Compare a sister in a Catholic sister. with a wine that you see on the road. Compare and contrast their conservative nation. Compare a Catholic priest or a pastor that you see with um, a dibia. The chances that you will see a modern day dibia in a hotel are high. The chances are that you see a modern day dibia in beer parlor drinking, guzzling down beer, smoking, in as much as that is not a sign of immorality or morality. But optics of morality is important. You can't dissuade optics. I always tell people, in whatever you do, people follow optics, not the truth. It's only few people that search for the truth. But the general public go for the optics. So the optics of morality is high in Christianity. So the message of morality is heightened in Christianity than in Odinani. Yes, it can be argued that morality in Christianity is veiled, cosmetic, and lip service. But then it is those pretenses that people want in a conservative society. People do not want you to come and flash in their faces what they do in private. Some things come out in the public, everybody will be saying, hey, who, he. Those are the things they are doing in private. So the lack of pretenses in Odinani in respect to morality is a great albatross for Odinani. Take it or leave it. If you are talking about Odinani, and some people see promoters of Odinani, just take example for what is happening now in so many communities. Ezewine are being referred to as Ezoho. What do they mean? People that sleep around. Yet, if you go into the monasteries, you might notice that the people that you think that have abstained of chastity may be guilty of all those things. But you need to look very hard for you to find evidence. But here, you throw caution to the wind and believe it doesn't matter. It matters. Those optics matters. It will be a great disservice. You can't say a normal conservative person and you're convincing the person. That lifestyle will not be appealing to the person. The Christian lifestyle, conservative lifestyle, or the pretenses of conservatism, Christianity is more appealing to the ordinary mind. Our people say, before the eyes will always feed first before the mouth, which is going to tell us if the food is sweet or not, you eat. Now, take it, for example, Christianity condemns polygamy, whereas polygamy is allowed in Modernizing. Christianity will pay polygamy as promiscuity. So they go for monogamy and paint monogamy as the right union between man and woman. Yet, in those monogamous unions, the case of infidelity might be very high. So we must be very cautious. If you are propagating polygamy, are you propagating it from the angle that just go and be marrying of promiscuity, or from a more intellectual angle of how it's providing a particular need? If you are being polygamous in Odinani, are you being polygamous in a cautious way that looks admirable or in a careless manner? So, like women, you prefer ordinarily monogamy. Monogamy is more appealing to women, and that's what Christianity is offering them. Truth be told, majority of today's women prefer monogamy to polygamy. They believe that Odinani promotes polygamy. So that means if they allow their husband to go into Odinani, the husband will now marry another wife, get another woman. What was the lifestyle of today polygamous Sunday Odinani that shows that polygamy is ideal than monogamy? It's food for thought. So there is the pretension of morality in Christianity, and is a great advantage to the eyes of an average mind. Now, also remember, in Christianity, the central teaching of Christianity is love. We all know that man remains a beast, but Christianity is telling you that their central teaching is anchored of love. Love for God, love your neighbor as you love thyself. It's a huge punch. It's a huge confusing argument because love conquers all. People are always attracted to love. Even as a writer, I always tell students when I teach them screenwriting, the best story to start your screenwriting career is a love story. Because people are always attracted to love. Incidentally, the message of Christianity is anchored on love. It is a powerful message of someone, of a son of God, who have to sacrifice his own life for the love of humanity, and they are telling you that's how you should model your own life. It's a convincing argument, take it or leave it, from the aspect of morality. Odinani should start looking at convincing argument from moralistic point of view that they will use to push their message of Igbo spiritual path. Instead of this modern day practice of dibias being seen in clubs, drinking beer, spraying money, opening hotels. No, no. We play with optics and think it doesn't matter. Yet want to be taken seriously. No, they are not going to be taken seriously by the general public. It's only few people that might look beyond the facade that might take it serious. Now, the number 3 is superstition. Superstition is rife in Odinana than in Christianity. Superstition poisons growth and development. Superstition imprisons the mind, induces fear, and makes people unnecessarily stuck with practices of the past that are no longer necessary in today's world. Some of those old are based on superstitious beliefs that induces fears, that try to get stuck in the past. Christianity has the credit of ending slavery, human sacrifice. These are superstitious practices of the old that many ancient cultures we are guilty of. But Christian nations, whether for selfish reasons or altruistic reasons, found the courage to rise above these superstitions and end it. There are some cultural practices that Odinana practitioners of today are superstitiously holding on to. These superstitious beliefs are obstacle and impediment for Odinana in these modern times. For example, how a woman should mourn the dead husband, telling the woman that she should wear white clothes for 6 months, 1 year, and all that. Cutting her hair. Some modern women, I find this like a working class woman. It's not possible. And you are telling the person that is cultural the same. So you must look for modern ways of navigating around this instead of insisting that if you don't do this, do it this way, this one will happen and all that. Now, how to feed your chi? You see a lot of people keep insisting, the Dibia will do it, this one will do it, you will kill this one, you are creating impediments, unnecessary impediments for people. And if they don't do it this way, you see people now feed their sheep for 6 or 7 times and you are still being told that they are not getting it right. It's a big impediment. It's a big impediment. Masquerading. They tell you it's only a man affair. That is, even a woman cannot watch masquerade. A woman cannot wear. See, let me tell you, in modern times, your children will confront you with all these arguments. We are in an age that question a lot of things. That's why I keep telling people, create secular masquerade. Let women enjoy the beauty of masquerade. Then you know that you can have sacred masquerade that is a cult affair. If you keep creating all these seclusions and all these ones, it will be seen as a bondage. You must know where to draw the lines. Or else, that one that is pulling down all these bondages, you remain attractive. See, when I was growing up, they say women don't wear trousers, women don't preach. Women in Christianity, we are seeing women do all those things now. It's written in the Bible, women shall not wear masks. Women are wearing trousers. Then the job of a woman is to just close mouth, that she should not preach, that she should not say anything in the church. If she doesn't understand anything, if she goes home, she should ask her husband. It's there in the Bible, but can't you see that Christianity have moved past it? They have broken down all those boundaries. In life, you must modernize, or you must risk going obsolete into oblivion. So for the Nana to return to mainstream, these advantages Christianity have over it must be critically looked into and see how it can be upturned, or else Odinana will remain in the fringes as far as modern world and the common man is concerned. I will end by saying what happened recently. Some of you might have seen the video that I shared of my visit to one of the hospitals in Imo State, one of the best hospitals in Nigeria. And they were talking about stroke not being a spiritual sickness. Up to now, people believe that that stroke is caused by a spiritual disease. You don't need to go to hospital. You see all this kind of superstitions hold us back. They say that stroke is a more, and the hospital people are telling you, bring stroke, we will treat the person. It's this kind of superstitions that the missionaries are breaking down, and they are used to prove that their gods are what? Bigger and better than your own gods. Holding on to superstitions is a double-edged sword. It can kill you, it can also save you. So the ones that will kill us, let's remove it. The ones that will make us look uncivilized, let's remove it. The ones that will make them easily debunk what you are holding on to as the truth, let us remove it. Some things are no longer necessary in these modern times. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and share. I would like to hear from some of you. If you have any question, please, you can reach me through the number on the screen or my email address or my other social media handles. Thank you. Thank you.